Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hog fanatics, we at Inside the Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not-so-good deal. As a special offer, Hog fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
This is where the fun begins. What is up, everybody?
But we've seen this movie before.
What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? You never know what the loudest mouth in the fan base and his wild band of misfits are going to say.
I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hog Pen with your host, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
Talk to you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into an all-new episode, special edition, Monday night edition of Inside the Hog Pen. I'm your host, Razorback Zach from the Central Arkansas Hog Pen, joined by my wild band of misfits from the NEA. Holding it down is the glue that holds the whole thing together, Marcus MC Carlton. And of course, just up the road here in Central Arkansas is our EPAI and whatever other editor you want to add to it, D-Mad, Dylan Madden. What's up, boys?
How's it going, man?
Dudes. Okay, so we're not officially back for season 9. However, we had to do this special edition because we didn't come alone tonight. All right. We came with what I think is one of the meanest linebackers ever to play at the University of Arkansas. He's gritty, but he is also a 4-time All-SEC player. He is the 4th player in Arkansas history to record 3 back-to-back 100 tackles in a season. And he's the man, the myth, the legend. Dijon Scoota Harris. Scoot, what's up, man?
Man, thank y'all for having me.
Anytime we have a former Razorback on, it's great. And they got to strap me to my seat because I'm the football geek around here. So, tell me, man, what have you been up to since your playing days?
I've been I just had a back surgery last year.
Ooh.
A little disc cleaning up last November, so I've been like on a up end of recovering from that. Probably gonna get things to go again here soon this upcoming season. But that's been pretty much it though. Just been training and stuff.
Where on your back did you have back surgery? Because I've got back issues.
Between my L4, my L5.
Right where mine's at.
Yeah, I had the herniated disc.
Oh man, what kind of surgery was it? Did they go in and like clean it out or something?
Little micro.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Actually, it was pretty good. It went pretty well, better than I thought. Wish I would have found out while I was in Washington what was the actual problem because I had like that sciatic feeling. going down all the way to my ankles. So I wish I would have found out last March or last summer instead of late spring. I mean fall.
Anybody else want to jump off?
I was waiting
MC
on you,
take it.
D-Mad. I know that you
Go ahead,
kind of
MC.
anxious
I'll
there.
let you go ahead and take
No,
it.
man, I was just gonna say, we've all watched for years and years and years. We remember your playing days, man. What? Let's just jump into it, man. What's some of your favorite memories, either on the field or maybe off the field? And the statute of limitations is up now, so you can share some of that if you want.
I think probably some of my favorite memories was probably the hog walk,
Mm-hmm.
especially like my first year. I didn't really get to play much, so I feel like I embraced it a little more than usual. My second year, which was Coach B last year, I think we was fixing the stadium, so like it kind of sucked because we was getting off like on the side of the Razorback Road and
Yeah.
going straight into the stadium. And I think that first year with Morris, they kind of finished up, but it's totally different now. But I think that's probably my best experience. I had some decent memories there during football season, but especially early on in my career with Coach
Mm-hmm.
Beto, but it wasn't really much anything to be happy about those last 2 years.
Yeah, it's kind of rough,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say the elephant in the room, man. You had a rough 4 years, man. We really wish you could have had a better 4 years, but man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I always like to ask this question. We've had a handful of former Razorbacks on. We've had Chris Lanzilli from Boston, Massachusetts,
Yeah.
Chuck Tatum from Midland, Texas. We've had people from just across the United States. And one thing I always like to ask is, why Arkansas? What made you come to Arkansas?
I think it was the deep connection they had, the ties between all the Louisiana guys they had there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Mike Smith was the recruiter, so I kind of built a relationship with him that I ain't built with no other recruiter. Then Coach Hargraves like kind of came in the mix. But Coach Mike Smith honestly is the reason how I got to Arkansas and why.
Yeah, we love to hear that. I'm just kind of following on your hog walk question. Um, my I'm a I was born and bred Arkansas fan. I'm sure these two were as well. Maybe not MC anymore, but that's beside the point. But what when you first saw the hog call in person? What was your thoughts?
Oh, I didn't want to participate in it. Honestly, that's it's kind of weird though. Me and my family just looked at each other and was like, "What the heck is this?" But I mean, we wound up doing it because I think the first time I seen it was at the spring game, 2015. So we wound up joining the hall call. But later on in the day, when they did it again at the Catfish Hole, I was like, it just feels a little weird. But it's very intimidating though when you're playing against a team during a game though.
The recruiting superpower that is the
Yeah,
catfish hole.
yeah,
Love
Right?
to
Yeah.
hear it.
yeah.
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 Hey, Scoot, walk us through your recruiting process. I mean, talk to us about your path to Arkansas.
I think Coach Smith came during the springtime to my high school to see my cousin Michael Divinity that went to LSU. And I think Mike Smith came the second time. But I remember my high school coach telling Coach Mike Smith, like I was the guy. Everybody come here for my cousin or whatever, but like I was that guy to you should be paying attention to. So I think we had like Oklahoma drill or something that day, maybe like 10 to 15 schools there. And I had a pretty big day, especially in that drill. It's just hitting. But I had a pretty big day that day, and me and Coach Smith just connected. And then he brought Rob Smith down. And I think I was at playing quarterback or something that day. And Rob Smith was like, shit, if I could have a quarterback, so a guy playing quarterback, then I know you could run my defense in the SEC level. So that's kind of how the connection started there. And Coach Hargraves just kept in touch with me throughout that process. And I kind of looked up his history, and he had a pretty good background, being at Miami and stuff. So, like, why wouldn't you want to play for a guy there? And Arkansas didn't really have that much depth at linebacker, so
Mm-hmm.
you had to put all that into consideration. I wanted to play early, but I think they just built a deeper connection than anyone else did through that process.
So if anybody's watching and they're a little fuzzy, tell us who some of your teammates were there on defense when you were on the hill.
Some of my teammates,
Yeah, some of your defensive teammates.
my first year, early on, like it was Brooks Ellis, the Dietrich Wise, Jared Collins, the Andre Tollivers, Josh Liddell, like those guys.
Hmm.
My last couple of years, it was like the Ramses, the Pulleys, Cam Carroll, Sosa, Dre Greenlaw. Can't forget Dre.
Yeah.
Monteric and those guys like that. The younger guys like Greg Brooks, Joe
Hmm.
Fouché, and can't forget Grant and Bumper either. Hayden Henry.
And we were
Yeah.
talking
You.
about it in pre-show. Y'all had like the ultimate nickname team. Like you had
Yeah.
Sosa, you had Scoota, and God, I just blanked on one.
Bumper.
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 It's just a whole team of nicknames, and that's funny to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nah, for
Um,
real.
so in your later years, I think you were the captain of the defense, weren't you? Um,
My last 2 years, yeah.
so how did you approach that as a player? Like, were you like the main guy? The buck stops with you, or how did that work?
Uh, I mean, basically, yeah. But I was always open ears. I feel
Hmm.
like everybody should have a voice, be able to speak, an opinion to some. I didn't really have the answers to everything, and I feel like a good leader should listen to, the rest of their teammates. So that's kind of how I approached everything. That last year especially. Dre them left after my junior year, so we was kind of the older guys on the team, and then having all of those younger guys with Greg Brooks and those class. With that class, we had no one like experience on defense besides us.
Hmm.
So that's kind of how I took that approach that year. Though. It was more like a growing phase for me that year though too. As far as like being a captain though, I just voiced much my opinions my junior year though, but Dre and Santos and them and Yeldo was like the overall main captains like that year. So that's kind of how I approached my last year.
Zach, MC,
So
y'all.
yeah, no, okay. So I've got to ask. I watched your career very closely because you were one of my favorites during that time frame. Because Arkansas football during those I'm gonna say 4, maybe 5 years, between 15 and 20,
Yeah.
was kind of one of the roughest points in the program's history. But we'll get to that in a minute. But I got to ask on a personal level. Out of all the games you played, out of everybody you faced, what was the hardest hit and the one you most enjoyed?
Uh, I think the one I most it's probably back to back, but I think the Ole Miss hit my junior year in Little Rock on Tihamu. That
I
was
remember that. I
that
was hoping you were going
crowd
to say
that
that one.
crowd was that crowd was pretty crazy, but I don't think people probably remember my junior year we played Texas A&M on Kellen Mine. I had like three tackles back to back in that drive and they missed the field goal, but I hit Kellen Mine on like third down and I wasn't even supposed to be in the mix. Like it was crazy.
I was at that game when Scooter laid that hit
Yeah. Ole Miss.
on Ole Miss. Holy cow! I came out of my seat. It was
Yeah.
it was almost like I was sitting down there on the field. You could hear it, but
Yeah.
you could tell the intensity level that you had, and you brought it every game, no matter no matter what the record was, no matter what the situation around the program or what the fans were saying. So I'm going to address the elephant in the room, guys, if that's okay.
I'll
What
let you open that bag of beans, man.
I'm gonna be nice about it, but Scooter, hey, unfiltered, you got a hot mic, say whatever's on your mind about it, but kind of walk us through the coaching change of Brett Bielema to Chad Morris.
Uh, I mean, obviously everyone knew it was rough. You could just tell those 2 years in the program. But I mean, honestly, just being an older guy now, no, I really just feel like they just didn't properly, really. I
Mhm.
felt like they didn't want to really be there, honestly,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Well,
It
they certainly
just
proved it.
Yeah, I mean they proved it though, but it just kind of just feel like it wasn't really much 100% given on like their side of things. Because you could see just the talent that we had. You could say that the guys was younger, and we was old up on our way though. But those younger guys actually had a bunch of success with Pittman, and the
Mhm.
guys basically I'm saying the guys with Morris had a bunch of success with Pittman. So yeah, experience play a big part of that though, but it was just the way we was losing, and I mean just for me playing young early as I did, I know if you just lock down on your responsibilities, the IQ part of football, the X's and O's and stuff like that, you can actually grow as a player. So it was just kind of frog cloggy in my head, just didn't have the understanding of why things couldn't change. and why did things fall the way it did from year one to year two, as far as like a talent point.
Hmm.
Can I ask a follow up question real quick, guys?
Go
Yeah,
for it, man.
Well, I promise I'm not trying to put you in the hot seat. I'm just I want to pick your brain. What was it like inside of a Morris locker room? Because we, as the general public and as a fan base,
yeah,
was hearing different things, and we didn't know what to believe. Because when the cameras were rolling, he looked like an influential coach, but then
right.
you see the product on the field, and you're like, okay, what's going on? We've got the talent level. Was it as
Yeah.
divided as they were letting on, as the media was letting on?
The first year, I feel like because everybody did, a couple of guys did want to change. So I could say the first year, everyone was excited
Hmm.
for him. I just think after that season was over, everyone just probably thought it was, bullshit. So it was kind of hard to keep a group of guys, believing in something that we already seen the result of. And I think along the way, though, some guys try to stick it through, but it just didn't work out. And I think on their side too, as I guess Morris and them, especially that first year, they ran out so much talent. But I guess that's as expected, when you make a coaching change. But I don't know. I guess it was just like they didn't believe in, what we had there, and the players damn sure didn't believe in anything they was talking about eventually, especially towards the end.
It,
How did you keep your passion, your enthusiasm up in those tough times?
It was hard though, because I was coming off of foot surgery my last year. So I kind of like went through spring ball, summer ball without doing anything, just rehabbing. And that was a hard thing too, because I was trying to find a way to be able to play with like a plate in my foot and trying to get back into all the way in shape. So then just going into the season, trying to get into shape and having that foot injury was bothering me. So I was really stressed just dealing with that. Some points I didn't even want to be there, but I mean, I had guys like my linebacker room to fall back on. Sosa, me and Sosa close. We talk every day. Cam, Buster, so I had those guys to fall back on. And then when I'm there at the facilities, I just always stayed around like my linebackers. Honestly,
So now that you're a few years removed from playing at Arkansas and you looking back now, do you see things a little different now than you did when you were playing, or are you still seeing it kind of the same way you did when you were here?
like as far as on the field.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see things way different now. I mean, just getting to the league and stuff, the terminology or
Hmm.
just the knowledge, the experience of the game just goes to a whole different level. So, yeah, I kind of feel like a fan though, but sometimes like a coach too, low key though. But I see things way differently now.
I don't know. I don't know if you've seen DJ Williams. He was a former Razorback. He was in the Bobby Petrino offense. He's been doing a lot of breaking down of the offensive play calls and whatnot. I
Yeah,
feel like there's a lane for you to do that on the defensive side, and I'm here for it, man.
And
that's
we got
funny.
a hot mic and a fan base you could take advantage of too if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's funny because Rakeem said the same thing. I told him he should go do it though. He got all the ideas to everything, but he never want to do anything.
You got to have those visionaries though that just put the idea out there and let somebody else execute it.
Nah,
So
yep,
Listen,
yeah.
yep.
we have MC. It's like they said on Marvel. We have a Hulk. We have an MC. I'm here just for the ideas. Like
Yeah.
I'll text people every now and then, but every now and then I'll put something together. But we have an MC, so he's the one that does all the work, and we just kind of sit here and play in the
Look,
background.
Scooter, these two here make me look good on Friday mornings when I do the radio show. So I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just the face of the place. These two are the brains behind the operation.
Well, it's kind of like when you're playing defense. Everybody's got to play their part and know their
Everybody got
role.
to, yep.
So I,
Play
I
their
I don't
roles.
I don't get out of my lane. I try to stay in my lane as much as I can. So
So,
Hmm.
Scoot, let me ask you, and we're gonna get off in the weeds here for a second, but if you hadn't have come to Arkansas, where would you have ended up?
Man, honestly, it could have maybe been Alabama, but I wasn't really like sold on
mhm.
like living and going to school in Alabama because honestly, a lot of people don't really know. I didn't really care for football much, especially, and I didn't have a position either. So I was coming in as an athlete, so I didn't really care for football. I was playing basketball majority of the time, so I didn't really it didn't really hit me like that hard. I just wanted to stay close to home. So I know for sure it would have been somewhere close to home. Like I said, I just built that great connection with the Arkansas staff. But Alabama, though, what was his name? Not Lane Kiffin. The coach that was at Tennessee for a bit.
Butch Jones.
No,
No,
no.
no, no.
The
Jeremy
ball
Pruitt.
head.
Pruitt.
So
Pruitt.
Pruitt was on me hard when he was at Georgia. He was recruiting me hard, but they took one linebacker and he was from Georgia that year. So he got to Alabama, but it was just a little too late, like I told him.
You
But
know,
if Pruitt,
I looked up your 24/7 recruiting profile the other day, and I looked at the crystal ball. It had a crystal ball of 100% going to Alabama. So that answer doesn't really surprise me a whole
Right.
lot as much as I thought it would.
but I mean, honestly though, I don't know. LSU said I was undersized. Like I feel like me and Devin White was the same size, but whatever. But if LSU would have like gotten a mix though, I didn't really want to stay home, but I probably would have fell at LSU.
Was that
Honestly.
Coach O down at LSU at the time?
Coach
Yeah.
O was down there. Yeah, me and him had a good relationship, but
How could you understand him, man?
that Cajun, you gotta
He's
just
from Louisiana, man. He gets
yeah,
That's true.
He
you
gets
gotta
it.
just focus.
It was plain as day for Scoot. Come on now.
Yeah,
But hey, we are going to step away for a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue our conversation with the legend, Scoota Harris. You're watching a special edition of Inside the Hog Pen. Stick around.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hog fanatics! We at Inside the Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hog fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hog Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hog Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hog Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hog Pen.
It's time to step back inside the hog pen to the Mix Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen. On this Monday, I am frozen, so one of you guys need to probably take over while I fix my camera.
Go ahead, D.
You tried to switch cameras on us, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I didn't think we would notice.
I know. Well, I was trying to be slick during the break.
All right, Scoota. I had to ask because we kind of just zoomed by. You were saying you were more of a basketball player. Got to know, 6 foot tall, you can dunk.
Used to, can't.
I wish I could even say used to. So
Father Time, man. Father Time's
bad.
undefeated, man.
Nah, I would say I could still catch like a little putback or something off the rim though.
Yeah,
better than I can do.
So do you still keep up with? You say you're a basketball guy. You keep up with Arkansas and Coach Cal and what's going on there?
Yeah, of course. Honestly, keep up with all like high school recruits. So that's how I know like where everybody go to school at though.
All
Well,
right.
that's because social media don't give you no choice though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The reason I ask, I'm the basketball guy. You know, Zach said he's the football guy. I'm the basketball guy, man.
Yeah,
I'm already swimming in the Kool-Aid for this coming basketball season. So
yeah.
I'm pretty stoked and ready to get it going. But we got football first, man. Tell me what you think's gonna happen this year.
Shit, I don't know. I mean,
They're gonna win
another
some, they're gonna
what?
lose
I
some, huh?
mean, another bowl season maybe. I would say
Yeah.
6-6, but that's like the goal every year. I feel like when they could easily win 8 or 9 if they just lock in though. So
Yeah,
hopefully they can
we
get back
we've
this
talked
ball.
about that a little bit on the show, and it just feels like that we something's missing. We can't really put our finger on it, but something's there. You know, the talent's there. It's
Yeah,
like, you know, they come up, they beat Tennessee last year, could have been a springboard to something better, and then to come out and just couldn't capitalize on it. And that, you know, I don't mean to be dogging on it, but that
right.
seems like a recurring thing that kind of happens. You know, they'll come out, Arkansas will come out, will beat somebody we're not supposed to beat, but
Yeah.
then you can't use it as the springboard the way that they should. I mean, am I on track with that?
Nah, you
Everybody?
on track. You on track though.
Yeah,
I feel like the SEC is tricky though. It don't really matter what your record is.
that's
Like
true.
anybody's beatable that week. And honestly just don't think Tennessee was that good of a team, especially with that quarterback they had.
Yeah.
But Arkansas kind of just matched up better with them.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's hard to play in Fayetteville anyways. It don't matter who you are, unless you're Alabama or somebody. But
Yeah.
that was just a good matchup for us. But like, I feel like this would be Pittman, you know, overall one of his best teams that he had there. Besides like the first year with Grant and them, the super
Hmm.
senior. So I feel like this would be his overall best team. Year 2 with Petrino. Let's see what Taylor could do. You know, he
Yeah.
was looking more comfortable at the end of the year though, but he has some pretty decent weapons on the offense. Well, a receiver.
Yeah, they
Um,
brought in some good receivers through the portal, and you know, a lot of the guys put up some big numbers where they were previously. But you know, the big
yeah,
question is it going to translate into the SEC? That's the big question because
that is a big
I
question.
mean, that's you know, as,
There's
as you well know, I mean, it's head and shoulders above everybody else.
there's
Yeah,
one person that hasn't been talked about a lot though. That's Braylon Russell too. That dude is a 6 foot tall,
yeah,
240-pound nightmare.
yeah. I
You
mean, it's at
almost
the end of the
lost
day,
if you
though.
think about it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, it's on the guys, though. The guys put in the work, though. I mean, I feel like they could be successful. It don't really matter where you play at, honestly. That's probably you can say the last couple of years it looked like that on the defensive side because we picked
Hmm.
up so many guys from smaller schools in the secondary. But at receiver, though, I feel like it don't matter. Like if you got the talent, you know, they obviously have the experience, so they just got to put it together with Taylor and Bobby P. Just got to call some plays for him to score. But the O line is the big question mark every year.
Hmm.
As always, you know, I don't
Yeah.
really know why when you have Pittman he was the O line guru back in the day though. But I
A
mean,
hot button right there.
Yep.
so many offensive linemen you could get, especially to get to Arkansas. But it's still confusing to me though. At
One of them
least,
just retired from the NFL. Thank
Us too,
God.
man. It's
right?
confusing to us as well because for so long when he was an assistant, he was seen as the offensive line guru,
Yeah,
and that's been kind of a I don't want to say the weakest point, but it has certainly not been the strongest point of the teams that he's
right.
had since he's been here.
Yeah, especially just moving guys around or just getting guys to
Hmm.
Arkansas who you feel like that'll actually be better than what you have. But I don't know. It's just always been a problem. Yeah, it's for sure. It's a different generation of guys coming up though now.
Hmm.
It's not all big, mean, and nasty like they were back in the day though. But still a question mark at the end of the day though, because it's like I feel like he could be able to improve the talent that he have, and we still can't even like do that.
And they actually got some. I'll say they got some bodies on the line because they got the
Right.
guy from Georgia Tech coming in. They had
Right.
Blackstock coming back, and they had some guys that were actually some good recruits coming
Yeah.
in. It's just if they're gonna take it to heart, like you're saying, Scoota, and put that chip on their shoulder and be able to move the pile, you know.
Right. Nah, yeah. I mean, hopefully they do. I seen they got a couple of guys coming in, though, so if they could put it together. Though. I feel like Taylor is way more comfortable. He could actually
Hmm.
win them more games with his legs and his arm. If you take care of the ball for sure, though. So we'll see.
Hey, I'm sorry, I just shiny thing. Who was your
That's my
favorite
job.
person to hit? Like, who was your favorite person to hit in playing 4 years in the SEC?
Um,
'Cause I know you got a
it
couple of
probably
good
was.
ones
It probably
against.
was Drew Lock though, because he was like an
Oh my
asshole.
god.
It was him or Jared. Him and Jared Stidham from Auburn. It was
Oh my
two
goodness.
Oh my
assholes.
goodness.
Auburn. Now, see, you hit Zach's hot spot there, man, because that's like who he hates the most is Auburn.
Man,
And see, that's the thing. Everybody's like, well, I hate Texas. I hate LSU. I hate Alabama. I hate Auburn. That was a backwards pass. We should have won the game. And then, I'm gonna shut
Oh
up.
yeah,
We'll
that's
get him going on a tangent here, man. But
Shut up.
yeah.
Oh,
no,
let me
but shenanigans always seem to take place when Arkansas goes down and plays at Auburn. I mean, you can go all the way back to when Petrino was here the first time, man. I mean, there's shenanigans that go on down there for some
Right,
reason.
right. See,
So
there's shenanigans against Arkansas. Period, though.
What's
yes.
the worst stadium in the SEC?
The worst stadium.
Jordan Hare Stadium.
Yeah, I can't even lie though, man. It's pretty nice down there though.
Yeah, it is.
Ole Miss.
There you go,
Easy,
MC. There
easily
you go.
terrible. And Mississippi State not too far out though,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say Mississippi State's not far behind, man.
yeah.
I haven't been down there in a while, but the last time I went down there to the game, man, it was rough.
Ole
So
Miss
who
gets a bowl. That's
who
why.
who hits harder, the police officer that tackled Baker Mayfield or you?
He hit Baker pretty hard though.
Man, he got him.
Because I was a Baker fan, so he hit Baker pretty hard though. Nah, he ain't hitting harder than me though.
So all right. You were you got out and you got done before this NIL thing really got good and going. What's your take on the NIL craziness, man?
Man, I love it for the guys though, especially
Yeah.
just like I say, making it to the league, seeing like that percentage of guys don't really pan out. So
Mm-hmm.
you could get your change while you can, man. Change your life, your family life, or just start your own life. That's
Yeah.
good for you guys. But they do need to get a hold of it, especially like the transfer portal part.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they keep going like this though. I don't know if they're gonna run out of money or
Mm-hmm.
scholarships or whatever though. But they need to get a hold of that part because it's affecting the high school kids too.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's gonna be like a big recycling pool. That's how I'll see it. But
All
as
right.
far as
So we
love it for the kids though.
make you the king of college football, and you can make any rule you want to make. What's the first thing you're going to do to fix college football?
Get rid of roughing the passer. Sorry.
Man, I don't know. It got to be the replays.
Or the
Yeah.
targeting.
It got to be something with the replays though, because they're terrible. Honestly.
I've said,
Yeah,
if you
I
can't
agree.
figure it out within 45 seconds of watching,
Yeah.
get over it. We have
They
Yeah.
to.
have too many. They have too many cameras in college football to not be able to do a replay over in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
mean,
don't
think
know.
about it though. When you're in Baum Walker and you're watching the Hogs play there, they're usually pretty good in about a minute or less with the cameras that they have to
Yeah.
split all
Baseball's
the
a
way
lot
out,
better. Yeah.
Yes.
and they can get that right. You've got
Yeah.
about twice as many cameras in football, and it takes you 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, how many times have we all seen this? We're watching a game, or in Scoota's place, you're playing in a game. They go to the replay. You see it up on the big screen there at the game, and you're like, okay, this is going to be overturned. And they come back and uphold it, and it's so obvious that everybody in the stadium's like, oh hell no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those plays.
You
Scooter,
mean
were you on the
Auburn
team that went to the Belk
backwards
Bowl?
pass?
Yeah, I was.
You were part of the team that they had that review that lasted 45 minutes, didn't they? Or
That
like,
was at the Belk Bowl.
I think it was.
I
I
think
could
it
be
was the
wrong.
Belk Bowl. I think it
I
was the
think you're
Belk
right
Bowl.
now.
Where
Yeah,
y'all were playing Virginia, I want to say.
Virginia
Virginia Tech.
Virginia
Virginia
Tech,
Tech.
and there was some type of play, and they called it, they reviewed it, and sorry, we call him Bert every now and then, but Bert
Yeah.
walked over to the official, started talking to the official. I took my dog on a 20-minute walk and came back, and they still hadn't started play.
I don't
I'm
remember
not
the
kidding.
play, but I now that you've brought that up, I vaguely
Yeah.
remember that whole scenario there.
Nah, I remember that situation. I just can't remember what was the call, Lou. But it
I
was
gotta find it.
it
I
was
gotta
very
find
long
it,
because
man.
we was stretching on the sideline and shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Just trying to stay loose and keep
yes.
everything, game ready.
Scoot,
Mhm.
what's your favorite memory as a Razorback?
Um, my favorite memory as a Razorback. I don't know. I got a few though, but I don't know.
All right, give me a top three.
Top three. Got to be my Texas A&M game I had my sophomore year with me and Dre, because we both went crazy that game.
Yeah.
Even though we lost. Um, the Ole Miss game was two because that was just exciting. It was like all four of us, me, Dre, Pulley, and Cam. That game though, and it was one my freshman year. I forgot. Oh, was for the LSU and Bama game, but the LSU game would be the third one though, just because I played that game, got a sack, all that.
Is Death Valley the toughest place to play in the SEC?
Nah, it's probably well to me. I feel like it was Bama
Yeah.
because nothing worked at Bama. Uh, like nothing worked at Bama, and then they added those lights my last year that just flicks off and on, like
Uh-huh.
felt like a movie, honestly. And they was controlling us. But LSU, though, I mean, playing there at nighttime, they just a bunch of loud, drunk people,
Yeah.
drunk fans. Like it is what it is. But I
Yeah.
think a lot of people sleep on South Carolina. My sophomore year down there, that was
Uh-huh.
crazy. That sandstorm was
Yeah,
crazy.
sandstorm hits, man. Then people lose their mind over there.
Yeah, and it's so hot and humid out there. I feel
Mhm.
like we was in a desert.
Oh wow. I never thought about the humidity out there, but that makes sense with
Yeah.
where it is. That
That was
definitely
that
checks
was
out.
that was a crazy. That game was hot. I don't think I ever had a game like that besides my last year at Ole Miss. It felt like that in September, but
Mhm.
nah, that was pretty bad out there.
So I want to kind of shift gears and talk to you as a fan for a minute. What do you think? Of course, I mean you are a former player, so kind of give me both perspectives if you want to. What do you think about Arkansas finally breaking that barrier and playing Arkansas State this year?
Yeah, I heard. I don't know. I feel like the last couple of years, a few people have been saying like, I guess the Arkansas Razorbacks were scared to play State because if you lose, it just look bad. I mean, obviously, it's like big brother, little brother, but
Yeah.
shit. I mean, I'm excited for the state itself
Mhm.
and Arkansas State though, just so those players get that experience. But I hope the Razorback go down there. It's the first game of the year, if I'm not
Second
mistaken.
second
Second
game.
game.
Mhm.
So yeah, they should have that first game. You know, they feet wet and ready to stomp the A State Wolves.
So that
Man,
leads me to my next question, and I'm going to ask this because we did a podcast on it last year. What are your thoughts about playing games in Little Rock?
I hate that stadium. Is terrible. But I
There it
mean,
is.
like I
my
understand.
man.
But I mean, I'm big on tradition though. So like, I mean, I kind of respect, where the fans come from as far as going to Little Rock. I mean, you could tell a difference between Little Rock fans and Fayetteville fans,
Mhm.
if I'm being real. Like Little Rock fans kind of felt like the real fans, if
Mhm.
I want to be real. But I mean, I appreciate playing down there in front of them, but that stadium is terrible.
It is, man. It
It's terrible. It's like playing on concrete, and a lot of people always complain about the players complaining about playing on the field, but it's like, well, we play every week, and if that recovery time is a week from game to
right.
game, so you play there, you damn near need 2 weeks, and then like I say, every time we play there, we lose an important player.
Mhm.
So people thought we was just BSing that, but nah, it's just serious, and you got the high school kids playing on that too. So just imagine how they feel.
Oh yeah.
There's been a
Unfortunately,
lot
it's
of
only
knee
gotten
injuries.
worse.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of knee injuries in the past on that
Yeah.
field too.
yeah. It literally feels like concrete. Like I never been on no type of surface like that before. It just feel like they just took a rug and just laid it down on concrete and like here
That's
y'all go.
I mean that honestly that's pretty much
Essentially,
what they
that's
did.
what they did.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
used to work in the media, so I've been down on that field and been, like back in the locker rooms and stuff. Man, it's so cramped back in there. I
man.
mean, it's
Oh
just,
yeah. Don't speak on the
you know,
locker room.
yeah, yeah. And trying to get those post game interviews and stuff, man, you gotta, I mean, it's just
Terrible.
you're standing here like this with your camera trying not to bump people and everything. And,
Hmm.
it's not ideal. We'll put it that way.
Scoot, if you're not doing anything on September 6th, come join us out at the tailgate party. We'll be broadcasting live out on the golf course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, come on. We got
Which one?
War Memorial.
War Memorial.
One more. Okay. If I make it down there, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, that'd be
Definitely.
great.
Please do.
That'd be about my luck. The day I can't come, we get a former
That's why
player.
I'm doing. I'm bringing.
Yeah,
this
I
up.
know. You just rubbing salt in that wound a little bit. Yep.
Scoota, what's one story that you've never really told publicly that won't get you in trouble that you can tell now?
Uh, I mean, they got a few. If you want a funny story, I mean, Coach, I forgot what happened my freshman year at Mississippi State. We had to been winning because Riley went crazy in that first half.
Yeah,
Uh,
remember that.
but I think Rob Smith was mad that the defense was giving up the points so fast because it was a shootout that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him going over in the locker room because he had like little man syndrome, like he just tantrums everywhere. And he was going over something in the locker room on a projector, and I don't know if he did it right or wrong. And whoever he asked, they like just re-asked the question to make sure they was saying it right or whatever and getting the
Mm-hmm.
information correctly. And he got so mad to where I don't know what he said though, but you just seen like a little guy lifting the projector up and it's just flying across the bench in the locker room to the other side of the locker room. And here go big, I say Big B, but here go Coach B, like so confused. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But
Yeah, that's what you want in the middle of a game. Sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
Smitty with his little tantrums.
yeah.
Well, we've got to
That's
hit
pretty
another
good.
break, but we're going to continue our conversation with Scoota Harris here on Inside the Hog Pen, a special edition right here. Back right after this. Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hog Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hog Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hog Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hog Pen. All right, welcome back to a special edition of Inside the Hog Pen. What is it, like the preseason edition?
Yeah, it's the pre to the preseason show.
We were back regularly scheduled on August 6th, so don't worry. The 9th year of Inside the Hog Pen kicks off August 6th. But tonight we are joined by Scoota Harris, former outstanding All SEC four-time All SEC linebacker for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Played from 2016 to 2019. And Scoot, I want to ask, when you made the transition from playing at the college level, going through the draft, going and then hitting the pros, going through mini camp, rookie camp, what was that like?
The experience was second to none, honestly. The people that you meet, going to the combine, just transitioning from a college player to like the actual NFL side, seeing the business side of things, it's really second to none. I feel like every college athlete, if you want to make it to that next level, should like actually come into college and focus in if that's really what you want to do, because this is obviously a business first. But just going through that as a player though, was very exciting. Just to get the knowledge of the games from different coaches, actually meet coaches. I was kind of starstruck throughout my whole rookie year, that first year, so it was amazing.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go next. I mean, how do you're coming into the league and you're watching, now you're on the field with guys that you've been watching play, for several years. I mean, how do you keep that starstruck being in check?
I mean, you got to keep it in check though, because at the end
Yeah,
of the day,
right.
you're trying to make the 53 man. But it's honestly just day by day. A lot of the guys was in there cool, normal people at the end of the day though. So it was always easy to talk to everyone, meet and get along with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The more plays you make you as a player though, it's easier for everyone to kind of like you. I feel like come around and talk to you more as if you're not really doing much or not making plays though. But I think I maintained my starstruckness very well. I think I ain't really give it off much, but after the games, if it was a player or somebody that I wanted to meet or a coach, I for sure kind of made my way over there if I could.
Who was the one that maybe made it was the most difficult to kind of hold back being starstruck by?
Well, I mean, I always liked the Packers when I grew up, though.
Yeah.
So when I signed with New England, Tom Brady was gone.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, it was cool to meet Bill Belichick, but and Gerard Mayo though. So just playing for him and for that little month in camp was pretty awesome. But Cam Newton, when he got there, I was like, okay, that was my probably the first person. But when I got to Green Bay, it was for sure A Rod, because
Yeah.
everybody, A Rod's a hole, all this and that. He's
Yeah.
rude, but he A Rod chill, laid back, man. He be in his own world. He just play football. I never really seen him be disrespectful though, but he was for sure like the top guy.
Okay, you said you're a Packers fan, right?
Yeah.
That was a catch. I'm just leaving it at that.
Oh God.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cowboys
Scooter,
fan.
all
We
you
don't
gotta
hold it
say,
against him,
I'm
but
a
he,
all
Cowboys
you
fan.
gotta say,
Yeah.
hey, that's
I
not
mean,
the
we from the
NFL, buddy.
yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you about your pro days. You when you signed with New England, you said Tom Brady was gone. What was it like post Tom Brady? I mean, what was because Belichick and all that built this legacy up, kind of like
Yeah.
Saban did it at Alabama. But what was it all like seeing the transition post Brady era?
I mean, they call it the Patriot way for a reason though. Like that shit was real.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like it is similar to Alabama if you go through college though, but I guess they didn't really have a real drop off. You could see the on the field, the record was probably the biggest drop off. But as far as doing things the Patriots way, like Tom Brady there or not, like they did the same thing the exact way every day. And we had guys float in and out there. I met guys after I left New England, and they said the same thing. Honestly, like it's a tough, gritty place, on there. So like couple of individuals could play there, and want to play there. Obviously, it's Boston too, though. But yeah, it take a certain mind to play there in New England with Bill.
What do
How
you
does
think
that
about that?
compare to going to Green Bay? I mean, was there a stark difference?
Yeah, I feel like overall, when you talk about taking care of players,
Mhm.
a lot of organizations don't really do that in the NFL, and Green Bay probably one of the best. You kind of got everything that you need as far as being a player, though. The only thing that sucks about Green Bay is living in Green Bay. Like that literally was the only downfall. But outside of being an NFL player, like they have everything in that facility that you need.
Yeah.
That
Sure.
sounds like the whole. I've never heard of anybody wanting a vacation in Cleveland.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah,
joke
that was
came nowhere.
terrible. That was terrible out there.
So
Terrible.
I'm gonna ask a fan question. Pittman is 7-17 in one score games over his career. What from a fan's perspective, what do you feel and how do you feel about the team and what could you do different if you were one of the coaches?
Man, we said we weren't gonna put him in the hot seat, and then here we are doing this.
You talking about like what I could have did different, like from the past or this year?
At, at the current state of the program.
Okay.
If you're on the
Um.
staff, right? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying, Zach? Okay.
Um. Shoot. I mean, those one score games. It's just a toss up. It could go anyway. I feel like it probably was poor management on his end. When you're in a one score
Mhm.
game to not make it that though. But shit, if I was a coach on the staff this year, I mean, probably I'd start in the weight room. If
Yeah.
if I was Pitt, like it's starting in the weight room, guys getting bigger, faster, stronger. Then we hitting the X's and O's, like we really watching film, having an understanding of what's going on out there. Um, That'd probably be like my main two though. Then Talon, I mean, Talon is gonna take us as far as he could though, honestly. So
Mhm.
he would be like my last focus, making sure like I would probably be in his ear every day, like what exactly do you need if I'm Bobby? What do you actually really want to run? What's your favorite, what's your
Yeah.
least? Then as you gotta take account of into account too of the type of plays you run because of the guys you have around you. Like, can the O line hold up so long in this play? But if I'm tailing going into year two, like I'm already telling Bobby this, like some stuff we just can't run. Like you gotta just be real with yourself too. At the end of the day, like our offensive line is just not good enough, especially when you game planning against certain teams in the SEC. Or your receiver is just not like last year good enough to get open or fast enough to get open in time. Like I'll just be working on timing on both sides of the ball, speed and film.
What did you think? I'm gonna say this as your defensive wizard here. What did you think was Taylon's biggest problem last year? Do you think it was timing with the receivers?
I think it was just honestly just getting comfortable. Because I feel
Yeah,
like he did get comfortable in the Mountain West. You could just run, he outrun everybody. I just don't
Yeah.
think he was comfortable overall with the guys around him and Bobby's offense. And then whatever you seen in the first half of the season, you got to throw it out the window because the SEC, like those guys are 10 times better than what you're seeing from those smaller schools. So he was not familiar with that either, and his injuries too. So his
Mhm.
timing and then him being comfortable, I feel like was his two biggest downfalls last year. But I feel like that was expected though.
maybe like the confidence level kind of
Yeah,
shaking sometimes.
yeah. He just had to get comfortable into where he was at, like playing for the Razorbacks now, and then playing against the guys, the talent that he play against. But I feel like that shouldn't be pretty hard for him this year. As long as they get on connections, build that chemistry up early, this whole
Mhm.
from the spring and then summer into fall camp and stuff, they should be good. But we'll see.
How big of a guy was KJ Jefferson to tackle in practice? I know you can't hit a quarterback in practice, but I
I
know
had KJ in scout team. KJ got bigger his last year. He wasn't that big. He was pretty solid still, like 6'2", maybe 220 back when he was younger.
mm,
Had a
Mhm.
little more speed to him though, but he wasn't really like heavy.
mm.
But he for sure, I mean, he was good enough to hit. I don't know how hard it was now, being 250, 260 or whatever the hell he is.
Yeah.
I just remember, like, anytime I think about KJ, the BYU play where a guy comes and spears him and
Oh
just
yeah.
bounces off of him, I just sit there and I'm like, how in the world do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they take those hits. Honestly, I don't.
As the guy putting it on the other side?
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little
So,
different.
okay, I got a two-part question. What would you say to a high school athlete wanting to play in the college ranks and maybe make it to the league? And then on the other side of that, what would you say to this year's Razorback team if you were in a team meeting with them before a game?
If I was to tell a high schooler, like a 5 star or any high schooler, because this is a
I
big
mean, any
ship.
high schooler wanting to make
But
that
any,
jump to play
yeah,
college ball.
I mean any high schooler now with dealing with the you in the NIL era now, so it's
Mhm.
just like being realistically, um, what you want to go to school for. If you're trying to go to the league, then you could put the work in, the grind in, 3 years in, do what you got to do, handle your business to play, and then you could be up out of there. But if you add like your books to it, though, it might take a little longer. But if you serious about things, you could knock both of them out in 3 years, 3.5 years. Just take more classes in the summer. And if I was to tell a Razorback team this year, should just trust and believe in themselves and what the coordinators running for them every week. Though at the end of the day, it come down to the players. So if you confident in in your abilities, the play calling and the plays from film, then you should be fine. It's gonna be an up and down hill, injuries here and there throughout the season. Uh, take it 1 week at a time. At the end of the day,
I like it.
Like it. Anybody else got any
Y'all,
questions?
I guess we got final questions pulling up, don't we?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
MC, go ahead, buddy.
All right. Final question from me. Over the course of your career at Arkansas, you can go back in time and you can change the outcome of one game. What's the one game you're going to change the outcome of?
uh, probably my last year, man. We played Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Uh, man, I missed a tackle on Kellen Mine, but bro. A lot of people don't understand. Like, I was trying to get back into shape from my foot. Like, I
Mhm.
went into the season at like probably 248. That's the heaviest I ever been. Like, never played there, but yeah, I missed a tackle on Kellen Mine, and I was so disgusted because he sucked to me, man. And I had, like I said, I hit him so hard the year before,
Yeah.
and was trash talking on social media, and I was just like, wow, I just let him make this
I
most
think
the slowest juke move I ever seen, and he got the first down, and they wound up kicking that field goal to win though. But I
yeah.
could go back to change that because I was putting my faith into my teammates, trying to get them to cut back, and I got my ass juked.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. What you got, D-Mad?
So, a couple of things actually. Do you still talk to anybody from your former teams or anything? I know you said
Yeah.
you were talking to Boyd earlier, Raheem Boyd earlier.
Yeah, I talked to plenty of guys, honestly.
That's good. So what does it mean to you whenever someone talks to you about like not from Arkansas? Like, what does it mean to you as a person that has graduated from Arkansas and as a former Razorback?
I mean, it means a lot. I think since I'm done, I honestly like feel like, when they say that you bleed Razorback red, but when you from Arkansas, it's just a difference because that's all everyone has. It's the Razorbacks, like that's the sports team there. So, when you're not from Arkansas, it kind of takes you a little bit to kind of understand and really feel that passion from the Razorback fans, though. But talking to a Arkansas person now or somebody not from Arkansas, like I kind of like I say feel like I have like that deeper passion, the same as like from folks that's from Arkansas. Though it's just different there.
Mm.
And like you gotta either experience it yourself or be from Arkansas to actually like understand.
Zach, you got a last question?
I do, and it has nothing to do with his time at Arkansas.
Absolutely, I love that.
It is completely off the wall, only because I gotta know. Greatest sports movie of all time.
For me, it's probably Remember the Titans.
Thank you.
Did you ever watch
Hard to
Grader?
beat that, man. Hard
I
to
watched
beat that.
Greater. I watched Greater for sure. I think it did. I think it came out my freshman year, and they took us to the movies to see it with Coach B.
Okay.
It's a pretty good movie, honestly. I didn't know about that. I didn't know
Okay,
about.
so I've got another one now that you've said that. Did they tell you guys about BB's legacy?
Brandon
No.
Burlsworth's.
Brandon
No,
Burlsworth.
nah. And we had some. I feel like some of the Arkansas guys knew, and the older guys knew, like Dietrich them, but I had no idea who. I think once they said like I was familiar with the Burlsworths, like name from the kids being out after the game though, but I didn't know anything about it, honestly.
All right. That's all I got.
Do you have anything you want to plug that you're doing or anything that you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Nah.
Well, I'll tell you this, man.
I mean, I would say though, shit, it all depend on how my body been feeling though. 'Cause if I don't get back into playing though, I might get into coaching here soon. So
Cool.
I know there. Oh, stop it, Dylan. There's a position in Northwest Arkansas with your name on it, bud.
I don't know where though, but I hope it's not at a rival for sure.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Well, I
though,
tell you
but
what, man. This coming up season or anytime you want to come on, you got a warm seat and a hot mic ready for you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, all right, boys, we done?
I think that's it, man. I appreciate
All right,
you coming on, man. It's always fun to hear from the players, the guys that we go watch. I mean, to get in and get to pick your brain and some of the other guys we've had on, man. That's always a treat for us. So we appreciate you coming on.
No, I appreciate y'all from having me.
Hey, we actually had Brooks Ellis on
did.
the radio.
Yeah.
We had Drew Morgan on too.
Yeah.
Yep, Drew.
Yeah, the juice.
Also, so apparently the Belk Bowl situation was an inadvertent whistle. That's where that whole review went from.
Yes.
Oh
That's
wait,
what it
that was the
was.
Drew situation. Matter of fact, is when he spit it on the guy, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it was.
I
I think it
that's
was.
what
yeah,
it
that's
was.
exactly what it was.
That's what it was. Nah, I
That's
forgot all
awesome.
about that.
I had forgotten about that too. But you're right.
Oh, my
That's it.
God.
Because I remember listening to that on the radio because I was at work and I went, dude, he what?
Yeah, Drew was out his mind.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the adrenaline just a little too hot that game.
oh yeah. Well, Scoota, man, we appreciate you coming on. Like I said, you got an open invite anytime you want to come back. All right, that's gonna do it for us. For Marcus MC Carlton, Dylan D Mad Madden, and the legend Scoota Harris. I'm Razorback Zach. Thank you everybody for watching a special edition of Inside the Hog Pen. Like I said, we're back August 6th, 7:30 p.m. to get you all set for the start of the college football season. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hog Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.